Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're stepping into the shadows of what really feels like a global tactical command center. Picture the glowing digital maps, the wireframe schematics of missile systems, and those pulsing Amber Alert indicators, because we are pulling raw data directly from the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, the Federation of American Scientists, and the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists. We're going to break down one of the absolute highest-stakes issues on the planet right now: the current state of global nuclear forces. It's a complex, incredibly secretive world, but through some rigorous, structured intel, we're going to unpack exactly what's going on.
To really grasp the immediate strategic urgency here, you just have to look at this number, 90. The Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists maintains the iconic doomsday clock, which is essentially this metaphorical gauge of how close humanity is to self-destruction. And currently, that clock sits at a stark 90 seconds to midnight. It's a massive, chilling reminder from leading security and scientific experts that the threat environment we're about to dive into isn't just theoretical. It is an active, escalating global reality.
Okay, so here's our briefing agenda to get you totally up to speed. We'll start with the global arsenal today, examine the modernization race, and look at shifting nuclear doctrines. Then we'll cover tracking through open source, and finally wrap up with AI and future risks.
All right, part one. The global arsenal today. Let's pull up the latest intel from the 2025 SIPRI yearbook and see exactly what the stockpile looks like right now.
So as of the start of 2025, the world's 9 nuclear-armed states possess roughly 12,241 nuclear weapons. But that stockpile is insanely concentrated. The United States and Russia absolutely dominate this space, together holding almost 90% of all global nuclear warheads. The remaining 10%, that's split among the other 7 nuclear-armed nations: the UK, France, China, India, Pakistan, North Korea, and Israel. But here's the thing. Total inventory is only part of the story. Operational readiness is where the real concern lies. Out of the roughly 3,912 warheads that are actually deployed with operational forces, about 2,100 of them are kept in a state of high operational alert on ballistic missiles, meaning they are quite literally ready to be launched in a matter of minutes.
Now, we're actually seeing this fascinating yet deeply concerning paradox in the data right now. Overall, the total number of nuclear warheads in the world is technically continuing to decline, mostly because the US and Russia are dismantling old retired tech. But we are crossing a critical threshold. The rate of dismantling those retired warheads is slowing down, and SIPRI notes it's highly likely that this will very soon be outpaced by the rate at which brand new modernized warheads are actively entering global stockpiles.
Which leads us perfectly into Section 2, the modernization race. Because make no mistake, every single one of the 9 nuclear-armed states is currently upgrading and strengthening their arsenals.
For instance, China is right in the middle of a massive expansion, bumping its arsenal from 500 up to an estimated 600 warheads just over the last year alone. And we're also seeing a really dangerous spread of specific technologies. Up until the mid-2000s, only France, Russia, the UK, and the USA deployed missiles capable of carrying multiple warheads. Fast forward to today, China has developed them, and India, Pakistan, and North Korea are all actively pursuing that exact same multi-warhead capability. On top of that, sea-based nuclear weapons, which used to be the exclusive domain of the early adopters, are now proliferating, especially among the 4 nuclear-armed states in the Indo-Pacific.
Moving to Section 3, Shifting Nuclear Doctrines. Let's look past the wireframe schematics and hardware for a second and examine the actual official government policies guiding all of this. The official rules of engagement are seeing some serious, escalating shifts. Back in 2022, Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine triggered intense discussions about NATO's collective security and extended nuclear deterrence. Then, by November 2024, Russia updated its official nuclear weapons doctrine, which appeared to expand the scenarios under which they might actually use nuclear weapons. Early in 2025, the USA confirmed it was replacing its nuclear gravity bombs stationed outside the US with upgraded versions. But the absolute most critical data point is looming right around the corner. February 2026 marks the expiration of the New START Treaty. And according to the Federation of American Scientists, when that expires, for the first time since 1972, there will be absolutely no treaty-bound cap on US and Russian strategic nuclear weapons. Just let that sink in.
All right, Section 4, Tracking Through Open Source. Now, you might be wondering, with so much highly classified military development happening around the globe, how do we actually know all of this? Well, enter the Federation of American Scientists. They act as this independent watchman for the globe. As the Washington Post noted, their Nuclear Information Project is one of the most widely sourced resources for nuclear warhead counts. In a field that's totally shrouded in deep government secrecy, this kind of independent analysis is absolutely vital for global transparency.
These researchers basically pierce the veil of secrecy using a really rigorous three-step playbook. First, they comb through official documents, testimonies, and previously undisclosed info obtained through Freedom of Information Act requests. Second, they conduct their own independent analysis of commercial satellite imagery. And third, they synthesize all that raw data into unclassified open-source assessments to form the most reliable estimates of global nuclear trends we have.
And the things they find scanning these satellite feeds are just incredible. For instance, FAST researchers detected new construction of a security perimeter around 10 protective aircraft shelters at RAF Lakenheath in the UK. This incomplete security upgrade raised some serious red flags, serving as an indicator that the base is prepping for the ability to store U.S. nuclear weapons. Similarly, analysts use satellite imagery to observe physical features and operational developments at highly restricted sites, like China's CFR-600 reactor facility. They are quite literally tracking hyperscale global dynamics straight from orbit.
Finally, let's head into Section 5, AI and Future Risks. To really understand this future threat, we need to define a massive piece of the puzzle, NC3. That stands for Nuclear Command, Control, and Communications. These are the incredibly complex networks of hardware and software that actually manage a nation's nuclear arsenal. Like we discussed earlier, everyone is modernizing. But successful NC3 modernization means figuring out how to integrate emerging, highly disruptive technologies like artificial intelligence in ways that enhance system resilience while still absolutely guaranteeing meaningful human control.
And this leads us to a really stark warning from the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists. They state that AI can chart a course to disaster faster than humans can notice. Think about it. In the event of a geopolitical crisis, the sheer unimaginable speed of artificial intelligence analyzing radar data or satellite feeds could drastically compress the amount of time human leaders actually have to make a decision. If an AI system hallucinated a threat or just coldly calculated a preemptive strike as the most mathematically logical course of action, that escalating sequence could totally outpace our human ability to intervene and stop it.
Which leaves us with the ultimate, chilling question. Can humans maintain meaningful control over AI-driven nuclear command? As these stockpiles modernize, as historic treaties expire, and as artificial intelligence gets integrated into the deepest levels of our military infrastructure, the margin for error is shrinking rapidly. Understanding these facts is really the first step toward demanding accountability and stability. Take this intel, ponder the fragility of our high-tech security landscape, and whatever you do, keep asking the hard questions. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer.